It's Sitting Pretty, baby.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Sitting Pretty. It's your girl Lolo, and I know it's been a while. I know. But I know you guys are probably wondering, Lolo, what you doing on your bed? And then there's probably some other people wondering, like, girl, where's your makeup? At this current time in my life, my chair is broken, but it's getting fixed, so I don't have my chair to position myself in a place in my apartment where the lighting is popping. So that's why I'm on my bed. Secondly, why don't you have on makeup? Girl, because I just don't feel like it today, okay? Anyways, as we are winding down the year, literally with only probably like 4 or 5 weeks left in the year, there was some pretty serious topics that I wanted to address for this year and then give maybe some tips or some advice to combat those serious topics so that way you can go into 2019 popping. You feel me? And feeling confident and feeling like your best self so you can live your best life. I'm living my best life. I ain't going back and forth. Y'all know the song. Y'all know the song. This episode, I'm going to talk about fears. And not just any fears, but fears that are unique to people with disabilities. Not everyone has these fears, but these are fears that I have because I have a disability. And the reason why I'm addressing my personal fears as well is because that way you guys know that you're not alone. And there's a part of me that doesn't want to be alone in my fears, so I want to share them and make sure I'm not alone in these fears, okay? So here we go. Here are my fears, specifically because I have a disability, all right? I battle with having a fear of death. And not just a fear like I don't know where I'm going in the afterlife. That is on lock. I just don't want to die before my time. You know when they say, oh, they died before their time? Like, I don't want that to happen. Like, that scares me because I don't want to die before I get to witness, you know, me make a change in this world at the level that I visualize every single day to have, you know? And that may be selfish or whatever, but it's true. Okay, I just don't want to die before my time. Like, that really, really creates a fear of mine. And honestly, after, you know, getting the bullshit news, but not real news about my diagnosis, but it ain't really a diagnosis debacle, that fear of death before my time really sent me into a very anxious place. I really suffered from anxiety in that moment. When I really, really started to let the fear take over, because for me, my thing was like, oh shit, if I don't know what it is, then how much time do I really have? What is really gonna happen to my body? What is really gonna happen next? Is this really gonna kill me? Is this gonna be the thing that takes me out? It's like, and I just lost it. I lost it. I went a little bit into the deep end and I had to reel myself back, which luckily I did. Took me a minute, but I did. But that is definitely a fear of mine. Another fear of mine is getting harmed in public. Now, if you guys were some viewers of my very, very early episodes of Sitting Pretty, you will see that I documented a time where I had actually almost got attacked in public at a bus stop. And it was a terrifying experience. And honestly, I still suffer from a level of like PTSD as a result of it, because it was very traumatizing, because I know I can't protect myself in the way that I need to be protected. Sure, there's pepper spray, sure there's guns and knives or whatever else, but I really don't want to harm anybody. And I know that's crazy, because like if somebody trying to harm you, honey, you better harm them first before they harm you. But if you don't have to do that, I'd rather just not do that, you know? And pepper spray ain't easy to use. Like, you have to have hand strength to push that nozzle down. You feel me? It just really creates a fear, because I just don't know what somebody's thinking. And people that are harmful, they don't look a certain way, they don't act a certain way, they don't do anything a certain way. They can act completely normal, they could be completely nice and all these things, and then they flip on you. The last fear that I have, which you guys should already know, it was going to be something along the lines of this, But honestly, finally finding that person, being in love, falling in love, and then it not really working out. And not working out in the sense of we just don't get along, but just not working out where, you know, he didn't realize all of the things that I would need assistance with. Or as time goes on and my body changes, he really didn't sign up to help me to this degree. Or, you know what I mean? Like, which is ridiculous, because it's like when people date people with disabilities, they know what they sign up for. But a lot of times you don't know what you really sign up for. And not even with regards to this specifically, but just in general. You really don't know what you sign up for until you start experiencing it. And then you realize, maybe I bit off a bigger piece than I can chew. And that's a fear. Now that you guys know these fears, I wanted to also share with you the thing that I keep in mind when those fears sometimes get the best of me and sometimes try to get the best of me. And it's a super amazing quote from a super amazing book that I read. Marianne Williamson's The Law of Divine Compensation. And what's so great about this book in particular, mind you, this is not an ad in any way. She did not pay me to talk about this book. I'm talking about this book because this book affected my life, okay? But the reason why I'm bringing up this book specifically with this episode about fear is because the way you can attract those things into your life is to either operate out of fear or out of love. You cannot operate in between. It's either this or that, love or fear, one of the two. And she kind of breaks down the difference between love and fear. So that way, when you feel fearful, you can remember, oh, when I'm feeling fearful, this is what's really happening. And when I'm feeling and experiencing love, this is what's really happening. The absence of love, which is fear, is mere illusion. Love is the only eternal truth, while fear is a hallucination of the mortal mind. How I interpreted that was that love is the only thing that is real. Love is what we experience. Love is what the higher power, God, the universe, wants for all of us to have and experience all the time. Love is the only thing that actually exists, while fear is a hallucination of the mortal mind. Because fear and love do not operate in the same boat. So if love is the only thing that's truthful, then that means fear is fake. And when you really think about those times you overcame a fear, no matter how big or how small, whether you had a fear of dogs and you overcame that, or you had a fear of, the water and you overcame that, you really realize that it really was just the thoughts in your head. Fear is not of God, it's not of the universe, it's not of the greater higher powers. Fear it's not real. It's just a thought. And a lot of time, fear is only created in the what ifs, stuff that hasn't happened yet. But love, you can experience that if you go shopping, you wearing your favorite outfit, you're gonna go see your boo thing, you see your family, you see your friends. Love happens more often, honestly, than fear does a lot of times, should you let it. I'm not really saying it to get you guys to agree or disagree with me. I'm just sharing it with you guys. So if it's helpful, great. If you don't find it helpful or you don't believe it to be truthful, that's completely fine as well. It's literally nothing like that. I just know that whenever I share these kind of things, I want to also share what helps me, because I'm not one of those people that like when people present problems or issues, but then they ain't got no solution at the end of the day. It's like, well then, why'd you even talk about it? Why'd you even bring it up? So again, that's just my personal advice sharing with you guys. If you could feel me on any of my fears, leave a comment. If you have any fears that you want to share and then a solution that you use to get over that fear or get through those fears, definitely leave a comment. If you have any other tools or helpful things to combat fear, definitely leave a comment. Until next time, it's Sitting Pretty, baby.